So Rob is the senior BEAMP manager from China Construction, and he will be taking us through the challenge statement, drone photogrammetry for site monitoring. Over to you, Rob.
So basically, what we want to develop is a photogrammetry software that could be locally developed here in Singapore. So I think, as a matter of fact, actually, we've been using some photogrammetry softwares from.
Hi, Rob. We are losing you.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, we were losing you for a moment there.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, basically, I think we want to develop this locally so that we could actually further optimize the use of drones, automate some of the process that the current systems could actually not do, and improve the time taken for the drone flights and processing of the images that we actually take from the drone itself, so that we can actually maximize the use of it for actual construction planning, safety, and all of it. So basically, this background is that photogrammetry is a workflow to convert photographs and videos into a 3D model or a 2D model. Actually, this is some of the terminologies. I think once some innovators wants to start this development, as we could actually explore further in terms of the background of the use, and we could show you some of the use cases that we've been doing in the projects. So in current practice, the flight is semi-automated, as we can say. So in the view of this development, we want to actually somehow fully automate some of the functions. Automate the flight schedule, the battery life, and the potential risk to the drones, such as the weather as well. So the data processing currently requires person to download data from the drone manually, upload it to the software or the system, the cloud system, and it's actually to resolve issues if there's any issues that might happen. And most of the challenges that we actually see in the current practice is that there's actually no local support if we are facing any difficulties. So if we could actually develop it locally, then I think we could see a good potential in terms of local support and further local optimization of the system. So as we've said, currently at now, the flight is time consuming and tedious. So if we are actually running a big infrastructure projects, because I think we get a lot of large infrastructure projects in Singapore, imagine we could actually try to fly the site within few days, imagine, and then process it in a day or two as well. So in trying to extract the data and then using it for planning is quite tedious. Next slide, please. Next slide. Sorry. So opportunities. So drone photogrammetry is already being done, but the current process could be further improved, as we believe. We're interested in the solution that can enhance the drone flight, as mentioned. So we really want to optimize it, develop it local, and then I think because and really try to migrate it within our own construction process in terms of safety planning, quality checking, and then technical coordinations in terms of the site. So it is also desirable that the total flight time can be reduced. So actually, we're trying to optimize the total flight time, high quality photography, without actually trying to negotiate with the quality of the data that we're trying to collect from the site. So the solutions that we would like to achieve is that the shots would allow site personnel to visualize. I think our site people will easily visualize the data more faster, more efficient, and then combine it with BIM model that could actually try to review excavation depths and then the building heights as well. We actually prefer the system would be to be web-based. We don't want it to be a standalone system, so that most of the because our organization is quite complex, so we would like it to be used all over our organization. And yeah, I think for the solution, as I've mentioned, once the innovator is quite interested, you could actually try to develop the idea more, and then we can show you our current process. Next slide, please. So our expected outcome is that the solution replaces the existing method to produce drone photogrammetry. As we mentioned, we've been using some international vendors that we would like to produce it locally. While minimizing the need for human intervention for drone flights, being it more automated. But definitely we will still be trying to maintain the permits, the necessary permits, Singapore necessary permits for drone flights, operator activity, and everything. Yeah, I think that's it for my presentation.
Thank you, Rob. So to our online audience, if you have any questions, do submit it in our Q&A panel.
Yep.
Rob, so for the site that you are looking to deploy this solution, right? What is the size of that site?
Sorry, can you repeat that? And I think it's quite breaking. I think my internet is quite bad here today.
Yeah, I think that's the difficulty you're facing. So what's the size of your construction site?
Oh, actually, we got one site is actually 4 hectares of land. So we got few sites that's quite big. We got various construction site in Tuas as well. So it's quite a big site that we're actually trying to cover. And this drone is actually very useful during the preliminary stages. I think also in the late stages of the project, but during preliminary stages, trying to capture the actual site conditions, the excavation is really quite powerful. So and then trying to plan using it to the dynamic planning of safety, the vehicular access, pedestrian access, safety hazard condition on site, and then looking at it in a higher perspective, flattening the drone is really powerful. So we have a lot of projects that you could try out. If there's any innovators that is quite keen and interested.
Is there any resolution requirement?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Sorry,
Is there any resolution requirement, like how detailed it needs to be?
But the images that we would like to maintain is because usually the drone can take 1080 pixels actually up to until now. Most of the drones can do that. So we would like to maintain that quality of high resolution so that we can really go into the details, zoom in if we would like to in some of the areas of the site once the drone captures the images, flattening the image, and then we could use it for our construction planning, safety and everything.
Mm.
And what is our request is that we would like the system to be open but secured. Open means within our own team to be easily used, but secured that nobody can actually try to access it or maybe illegally access it or something like that.
Rob, do you have any site survey data that this data captured by the drone need to reconcile with?
Yeah, actually that's what we actually try to plan. We would like the data to be stored into the cloud so that we could also do some comparisons of different drone flights in the future. So that I think it's a good record also that we could try to propose in some of our projects. We could actually try to propose that the as-built submission could be used within these types of technology. And then you can have a full timeline of the project from end to the beginning, the overall site condition to the final submission. Yeah.
Mhm. Mark, sorry, Rob, this question is from Mark. Yeah, he just wanted to better understand your need for local support. Is there a specific incident, issue that you faced that was hard to address because there's no local support?
Actually, the local support that we're looking for is local development support. Definitely, international system is quite fixed and out of the box. So we're quite fixed on some of the functions that they actually sell us. So if we're actually thinking, that's why we were proposing into BEAMP, is that if a local innovator could really do it, support it, and then some of the development thinking that we're actually trying to propose could actually be developed as well. So we're actually looking at it in a holistic point of view, looking at it into to the future that we could further improve the system in a local scene, environment.
Yeah, one final question. Does the drone need to fly in all weather conditions, such as when it's raining?
Actually, that's what we I know it's a difficulty right now with different types of drone, but yeah, actually we're thinking about that. But we have to maintain also the quality, the cost of the drone itself as well. Maybe I think if some innovators could also propose what is the you know the most cost effective drone that we could actually use for all weather conditions. We're actually thinking about that because in some conditions in our site right now, when it I think in the past few months, right, there was a rain for the whole month, right? So we had a problem in flying our drones as well. We couldn't really fly. So weather conditions could be really taken a look at also. Yeah,
Mhm. Sorry, there were a few more questions that came in.
it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you all looking to export the data to any BEAM tool?
In any sorry?
Are you looking to export the data to BEAM tool?
Mm-hmm. Maybe I read it. Can you repeat that? I couldn't understand.
Yeah, sorry. Basically, are you looking to integrate your data into your existing BEAM related
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
IDEs? Yeah.
definitely. That is also one of the future plans because currently right now, it's a most of the system that we actually use is quite a standalone system. So that's actually what mentioned about the local development support, so that you could really try to develop it in such a way that you could integrate it into various of system, because we actually have a lot of CDE system, for example, common data environment that we use, or maybe Revit system, or maybe BIM authoring system that what we are using is either MicroStation or Revit or any other else. So we actually want to really tap onto a efficient integrations within these systems. And if the local innovator could actually, have some ideas to that, then I think we're quite open and definitely to discuss further. Yeah.
Mhm. Thank you,
There's a
Rob.
lot. I think there's a lot of opportunity as we see. That's why the date. That's why our intention is that if an innovator can help us, really manage the data, sort the data and then integrate it later on, the different types of systems. Yeah.